Hey friends, it's me, Teacher Adrienne. I'm so glad that you can join me today outside. I love being outside. It's beautiful today. The sun has come out. There's a light breeze and it just feels good out here. And one of the things I realized is that many of you really don't know that I actually don't live at the preschool. I have a house and I have a yard and I have a garden, and I'm going to show you around my yard and my house a little bit today. And then we're going to talk about seeds, because seeds are such an important part of our environment. And I personally love seeds. I love growing things, and I want to share that with you today. So let's take a walk around my yard and I'll show you a few things that I enjoy about my yard. I know I've shown you this area many times, and I've done a lot of my videos right here. This is one of my favorite spots in my yard. It's where my birds come and eat food. I planted this bush probably 20 years ago, and now it's huge and the birds really love it, and it's a great place to put my feeders. This side of my house is actually one of my favorite sides of my house. Right now it doesn't look like much, but in the summer it is gorgeous. I have roses and this, I don't even know what this bush is called, but it gets the most beautiful pink flowers on it. I love it. And these pokey plants have the most beautiful orange flowers, and I have dahlias and more roses planted right here. I'm going to show you another thing that we have in our yard. Besides birds, we have what are called mason bees, and mason bees are amazing pollinators. And we have this mason bee colony or home here, and you can see bees flying in and out. Mason bees lay their eggs inside wood, in a tree, whatever. So we use these cedar pieces and we've drilled holes in them. And what happens is the bee comes in, they lay their larvae inside the hole, then they fill the hole with pollen, and then they fill it with dirt. And you can see there's some that are already filled with dirt here, and you can see that there are some empty ones. Then in the springtime, the bees hatch. They go out and pollinate all of our trees, and then they lay their larvae and their eggs again and fill up the hole so that we'll have more bees next year. They're pretty awesome. They are nice bees. They do not bite or sting. They just do their job of pollinating the trees. Speaking of trees, let's walk out and look at one of my favorite trees in my yard. It's my cherry tree. This tree here is my cherry tree. As you can see, it's in full bloom, and it is a very, very tall tree. We planted this tree about 20 years ago, and it has grown and grown and grown. And sometimes we get cherries off of it, sometimes we don't. Usually the birds and the raccoons beat us to it. But over this direction, in this little shady part, these are my two blueberry bushes. And these bushes have the most amazing blueberries on them. And if you've ever been to my house around July, I usually share them with friends. They are very juicy and huge, and guess what? The birds love them too. So we have to put up bird tape to keep the birds away. But that was one of the plants that we really love to have in our yard, is that blueberry bush. And this little blueberry bush right next to it, we planted exact same time as this big one, and they're supposed to be the same variety, but one got really, really big and the other one stayed really, really small. I'm going to show you another tree that we just planted in our yard. It's a peach tree. Hold on one second and we'll walk over that direction. This tree is a new addition to our yard. It is a peach tree, and it's small. I don't know how old it is, but maybe it's only like a year or two old. And it's not gonna be quite big this year and probably won't have peaches, but it does have blooms on it. And if I can get up close, you can see one of the blooms here. You see that bloom, that little pink flower? That is where the fruit will come out of. Yeah. So the bees pollinate the flower, and then the flower will turn into the fruit. You can see that it's starting to get leaves on it. And it's still pretty little, but we're excited to have this tree in our yard. Now I'm going to show you a few of the vegetables that are growing in our yard. I love to have fresh vegetables over the summer, and I do a lot of canning, and we eat tons of them, and I give a lot of them away too. But let's walk over and I'll show you my garden. This here is our asparagus patch. Have you ever eaten asparagus before? It's long green spears of sweet, yummy goodness. And I'll get close so you can take a look at them. They grow straight out of the ground just like this. They're kind of funny looking, aren't they? You can see them all growing right out of the dirt. Some are purple, some are green, some are skinny, some are fat. But they are so yummy. And we use a knife and we cut them off, and then we take them in and wash them up, and we like to steam them or grill them or put them in the oven to bake. They are so good. If you haven't ever tried asparagus before, give it a try. You might really like it. This is my row of peas. Do you like peas? I love them. They are so green and crunchy and sweet and yummy. I planted these probably about 3 weeks ago, and they're about 2.5 inches tall. I have a very, very, very long row of them, and eventually I'll put out 2 sticks on either end and then put some string up so that they can grow up the string. I can't wait for these to be ready. Well, friends, those are the seeds that I've planted in the ground already. But let me take you back to my greenhouse and I'll show you a few of the other things that I've planted in pots that aren't quite ready to go into my garden yet. So here's my greenhouse. It's really tiny, but it works perfect for me and I really enjoy it. I have my big old wheelbarrow of dirt so I can plant things, but I wanted to show you some of the things that I've started inside my greenhouse. Over here I have some tomatoes. They are a couple of weeks old. I just transplanted them from smaller pots into these bigger pots so that they can grow bigger and bigger and bigger. These are my cucumbers right here. And let's see. Oh, over here I have some artichoke plants. I love artichokes, one of my most favorite vegetables. And I believe this is a zucchini plant. It started with, it has its 2 leaves and it grew a 3rd leaf, and I just see that it's starting to get a 4th one right here. It looks so healthy. I'm excited about that. And then all these down here are more tomatoes and cucumbers and different kinds of squash. Let's see. Up here, these are my pepper plants. They take the longest to germinate. Germinate is what happens to the seed when it starts to grow. The temperature has to be right and the conditions have to be right, and then they just pop open and the plant starts to grow out. But these are my peppers. They're pretty little right now. I have 3 different kinds. Those are flowers. I bought those at the store. They're really pretty. I do grow flowers too, but they're not this beautiful yet. Here's some of my basil that's growing. Basil is a herb that you use. These are green beans that Avery planted. They're not up quite yet. Let me show you a few things that are outside my greenhouse that I've got going. These are all my strawberry plants. I love strawberries. So I have big planters, and then I have them in big buckets. And then in these buckets here, I've planted potatoes. They haven't come up yet, but I can start to tell that the dirt is moving around and making lumps in it, so I know something's going on below the surface. I planted 3 kinds of potatoes: red potatoes, Yukon Gold, and russet potatoes. Now it's time for some movement and some singing. Are you ready? I wanted to share with you a few yoga poses today. The first yoga pose I'm going to show to you is called Lotus. And basically you sit down on the ground, crisscross applesauce. You take your pointer finger and your thumb, placing them together, and resting your hands on your knees with the rest of your fingers spread apart. You take 3 deep breaths in and let them out. Let's do it together. 1. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. The next pose I want to show you is called flower. This one, you basically put your 2 feet together like this in the butterfly position, and you use your hand and you put them underneath your legs and lift up and sit for 3 breaths. Ready? In and out. In and out. In and out. And then relax. The next is a yoga pose that I kind of made up for kids, and it's about being a seed. And you're going to get on your feet, kind of like in a frog pose, and curl like you're a little tiny seed, planted in the dirt, waiting for the sun and the rain to help you grow. Take 3 deep breaths in and out. In and out. In and out. Feel the rain on your head. Feel the sun warming your seed, and start to sprout. Gently raise up on your feet until you're in this sprout position. Hold this position for about 5 seconds, breathing in and out gently. Feel the sun warming your body and allowing your leaves to grow. Breathing in and out. When your plant is ready to flower, tilt your head back. Feel the sun radiating on your body. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Namaste. Are you ready to sing today? Let's use the song that we learned last week using our signs. Are you ready? The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. Because your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Okay, here's another song about being a sunflower. I'm a little sunflower, look at me. Here is my stem, here are my leaves. When the sun comes out, I tilt my head. When the sun goes down, I go to bed. Let's try that one more time. I'm a little sunflower, look at me. Here is my stem, here are my leaves. When the sun comes out, I tilt my head. When the sun goes down, I go to bed. Are you ready for our story today? These are my glasses, this is my book. I put on my glasses and open up my book. And I read, 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 and I look, look, look. I take off my glasses and oops, shut my book. Today's story is 5 Tough and Tiny Seeds by Steve Metzger. 5 tough and tiny seeds sat on a slender reed, waiting for springtime winds to blow. Whoosh, whoosh. One landed on the ground, sniffed by a happy hound. Then there were 4 tough tiny seeds. 4 tough and tiny seeds sat on a slender reed, waiting for springtime winds to blow. Whoosh, whoosh. One landed near a lake, next to a wiggly snake. Ooh, I don't like snakes very much. Then there were 3 tough tiny seeds. 3 tough and tiny seeds sat on a slender reed, waiting for springtime winds to blow. Whoosh, whoosh. One landed near a tree, buzzed by a bumblebee. Then there were 2 tough tiny seeds. 2 tough and tiny seeds sat on a slender reed, waiting for springtime winds to blow. Whoosh, whoosh. One landed by the road, next to a slimy toad. Ribbit, ribbit. Then there was 1 tough tiny seed. 1 tough and tiny seed sat on a slender reed, waiting for springtime winds to blow. Whoosh, whoosh. It landed on a rock, close to a watchful hawk. Then there were no tough tiny seeds. 5 tough and tiny seeds blown from a slender reed. Raindrops are falling from the sky, drip, drop. With bright and warmer days, now comes the month of May. Now it's time for the seeds to grow. 5 seeds begin to sprout just as the sun comes out. What will they all turn out to be? Growing taller by the hour, each one a different flower. That's what became of 5 tough tiny seeds. This one turned into a dandelion. I bet you see a lot of those in your yard right now. This one turned into a rose. That one turned into a sunflower. This one turned into a flower called a cosmos. And this one turned into a flower called a wild carrot. I'm going to show you a couple of seeds that we're going to plant today. One's going to be a sunflower, and the other one's going to be a flower called a hollyhock. Both of them grow super, super tall, and when they grow enough, you can plant them in your yard and then watch them all summer long. Before we started talking about seeds, I wanted to share with you our letter of the day. Do you recognize this letter? Yes, it's the letter S. It's the uppercase and the lowercase letter S. The S makes the sound S, S, like in sunshine. S, S, sunshine. It also makes the sound like this. The word seeds. S, S, seeds. How about this? It's a slithering reptile, and you all know it's not my favorite. That's right, a snake. Or how about this other type of outside animal? A snail. And last but not least, these are things that you can build on a cold winter day when there's lots of snow. How about this? Snowman. Yes, this snowman does have a name, Olaf, but I thought he was cute, and I thought he represented snowman quite well. Are you ready to draw the letter S? Let's work on that. Okay, it's time to get your pen and your paper ready so that we can practice writing the letter S. If you don't have a pen or paper available, that's okay. Remember, you can always trace with your finger. Are you ready for this one? Okay, to start the uppercase S, you start at the top. You twist and turn and make a curve. You see how we did that? We started at the top. We twist and turn and make a curve, just like that. Now here's the crazy thing. the uppercase S and the lowercase s look exactly the same. So let's practice here. We'll just make it a little bit smaller. We twist and turn and make a curve. Look at that. Ready? Here we go again. We twist and turn and make a curve. There you go. The letter S. The uppercase and the lowercase letter S. Earlier in my video, I was telling you the importance of seeds. Seeds are so important to our environment. They're important for animals, they're important for birds, and they're important for humans too. So many things in our world start with a little seed. Even the big giant trees, they were all once a seed. The fruits and vegetables that we eat come from seeds. And the beautiful flowers that we look at and the grass that we walk on all starts from seeds. That's why seeds are so important. I'm going to show you a few items and you can guess where the seed is. Is it inside? Is it on the outside? Or does it come from the flower? And we'll talk about that. On this tray are a lot of items and they all came from seeds. A lemon. The seeds are inside the lemon. An avocado. Have you ever cut open an avocado to see the size of the seed that's inside there? It's huge. And it started from a seed. Avocados come off of a tree just like lemons come off of a tree. And those trees started with seeds. This dandelion. It's a fun flower. I bet many of you have these right in your yard. Best thing about dandelions is after the flower matures, a big puffball grows from the top of this. And we blow it with a big blow, and the wishes fly every direction. Did you know those little wishes on a dandelion? Every one of those is a seed for a new dandelion flower. How about this? A pine cone. Yeah, pine cones are full of seeds. These pine cone seeds grow, guess what? They grow giant trees. Squirrels love to eat the seeds that are inside of these pine cones. How about this? A strawberry. How many of you love strawberries? They're so yummy and juicy. Look at this. The seeds of the strawberry are on the outside of the fruit. Do you see all those little polka dots? Every one of those are seeds. What about this? An apple? Apple, it comes from a tree. Inside the apple are seeds. Every one of those seeds could grow an apple tree. I sure love apples. They're so crunchy and yummy and juicy. Have you ever seen this before? We call these helicopters around our house because when they fly down, they spin around and around and around. Well, this seed is from a maple tree. And it grows, this little teeny tiny seed can grow a giant, giant tree. How about this? Have you ever eaten peas before? When you crack them open, look, the seeds are right inside. There they are. There's all those seeds. Oh, and they're falling out on the platter. There they are. Look at those. And those seeds are so yummy to eat. But when they mature and we dry them out, we can replant them and we can grow more peas. I wanted to show you the difference in size between some seeds. Some seeds are really, really, really tiny, like these right here. See these tiny seeds? Can you guess what they might grow? Those seeds are lettuce seeds. Look at these big giant seeds. They're huge. I mean, look at how big they are in my hand. These are seeds. They're a bean from a scarlet red runner bush. They make beautiful, beautiful pods, and inside the pods are these fascinating, beautiful seeds. In the mail, I sent you a couple of seeds. I just shared with you many things that have seeds in them. And I was wondering, do you know what it takes to grow a seed? Let's think about that for a minute. There's 3 things that you need. Let's see. The first one comes from the ground. Did you guess what it is? You're right, it's dirt. We need dirt to grow seeds. Dirt provides nutrients and gives a plant stability. See, the second thing that we need, comes from the sky, mostly from clouds, or from your garden hose, and it's wet. Do you have a guess? Did you guess water? Because that's right, water is the second thing that we need. The third thing that we need is also in the sky. It's bright and shiny, and it keeps us super warm. Can you guess what that is? You're right, it's the sun. The 3 things we need to grow plants is dirt, water, and sun. This week I mailed to you a package, and inside the package were some seeds. There were 3 sunflower plant seeds and 3 hollyhock seeds, and I'm going to show you how to plant those seeds. Are you ready? Let's go. Planting seeds is really, really simple. The first thing that you need to get is a container. And honestly, it doesn't matter what kind of container you use. I have these little pots in my greenhouse that I'm going to use, but guess what? You don't need those. You could use a plastic cup. You could use a leftover container, like maybe an egg carton, or you could use a container that a pie came in. Honestly, pick whatever container you can find, and then guess what you need to do? You need to fill it up with dirt, just like I filled up these containers with dirt. Then you take your seeds, and here I have sunflower seeds, and here I have hollyhock seeds. These are the seeds that I sent to you. I sent you 3 each. You take your seed in your hand, just like that. Stick it on top of the dirt, just like that, and poke it down, just like that. You just want to go to about this part of your finger, not much deeper than that. And then make sure your hole is covered up with dirt. Grab another seed, put it in your pot, push your finger down, cover up the hole. Okay, let's do it again. Here we go. I've got a hollyhock seed. I'm gonna put it in the pot, push it in with my finger, cover up the hole. And my last one, I'll grab another sunflower seed. There we go. I put 2 in this one. Push it down with your finger, cover up the hole. Now remember, we said dirt was one of the things that we needed. The second thing we need was water, and I've got this great spray bottle. If you don't have a spray bottle, that's okay. You can gently pour water into the dirt. You want to make sure that when you're putting water into your container that you're not flooding your container with water. And because if you flood the container with water, the seed will move around and get maybe in a good area where it won't grow very good. So you need to make sure that you just use a light amount of water, and I'm just going to spritz my water. If you have a squirt gun, you could do that, a spray bottle, or just get a little cup and you can pour water in there too if that's all you have. Make sure it's nice and wet. And this is something that you're going to need to do every single day. You need to give your seed water every single day. And then once you get it nice and wet, you're going to find a nice sunny location to put them so that they can grow. Because it's still chilly this time of year in the evening, you might want to put them inside until your sprout comes up through the dirt. But if you don't want to put it inside, you can also put them outside. I have this great sunny spot right there on my deck, and I might put mine right there and see if they grow. Now this is where it gets hard, because guess what? Now you have to wait. We can't rush this. You have to have patience. These seeds may take anywhere from 7 to 10 days before they sprout. if you have them inside, they will sprout much quicker than if you have them outside. Well, friends, I hope you had fun planting those seeds. I sure had fun doing that with you too. And I can't wait for you to see your sprouts grow. It does take time, and you have to be patient. And sometimes that's hard. But in the end, you'll have a beautiful plant that you'll be so excited to watch grow. This week I sent you a package in the mail, and inside the package are those seeds that we just planted. They look in a little package just like this. And I also sent you this, a tiny seed journal, where you can keep track of everything about your seeds. What day you planted it, one day it sprouts, what day it turns into a flower. And you can also draw a picture of your sprout and what you think your flower might look like. Also inside that package are 2 craft projects that I will be sending out instructions for later this week. There's these flower cutouts and these watercolor paper flowers. So wait for that video to come out to get the instructions on how to do those 2 art projects. I had a great time with you today. I hope you enjoyed seeing my house and my garden and all the things that I have going on around here. I sure miss you tons, and I can't wait to see you soon. Are you ready to sing our goodbye song? Okay, let's go. See you later, alligator, in a while, crocodile. Give a hug, ladybug, blow a kiss, jellyfish. See you soon, big baboon, out the door, dinosaur. Take care, polar bear, wave goodbye, butterfly. I miss you all so much. Lots of loves and hugs to you, and lots of high fives too. See you soon. Bye.